Today we will talk about the multiple allelism. What are multiple alleles? Multiple alleles simply means many alternative forms of a gene in a population. So multiple alleles means many alternative forms of a gene in a population. That means in a population when there are three or more than three alleles of the same gene in a population, that is called as multiple allelism. So we can say that three or more than three alleles of a gene in a population, that is called as multiple allelism. Three or more than three alleles of a gene in a population are known as multiple alleles. So when there are three or more than three alleles of a gene in a population, that constitutes the multiple allelism. Or we can say that more than two alternative forms of a gene in a population, that we can say that it is a multiple allelism. Generally, in a population there are two alleles of a gene, but sometimes in certain cases we have more than three. We have three or more than three alleles of a gene in a population, that constitutes the multiple alleles. For example, we have example in case of humans, three alleles for blood group in humans. These are the examples of multiple allelism. In humans, blood group is controlled by a gene which has three alleles. So more than two alleles of a gene in a population, that constitutes the multiple allelism. Same is the case, there are four alleles for coat color in rabbits. Four alleles for coat color in rabbits. This is also an example of multiple allelism. Or same is the case, there are 15 alleles for eye color in Drosophila. 15 alleles for eye color in Drosophila. There are 15 alleles for eye color in Drosophila. There are 15 alleles for eye color in Drosophila. Remember that if we take an diploid organism, diploid individual, in diploid individual there are two alleles. These are present on homologous chromosome. For example, the condition like this of a gene, these are present on homologous chromosomes. Suppose we have this condition. This is T. These are two alleles of the same gene, and this so we can say that in an individual only two alleles of a gene can be present, and in a gamete, diploid individual has two alleles of a gene, and gamete has one allele of a gene, whereas in a population we see multiple alleles. So multiple allelism is a population phenomenon. That means there can be three or more than three alleles of a gene, or we can say that more than 2 alternative forms of a gene. More than 2 alleles of a gene. This is a case of multiple allelism. And these multiple alleles, they occupy the same locus on the homologous chromosomes. These for example, we have blood group. The multiple alleles, they occupy the same locus on the homologous chromosomes. For example, this is IA. This IA, it controls a blood group in humans. So these are homologous. Then the multiple alleles, they occupy the same locus on the homologous chromosome. What it means is that this is IA. This blood group A is also having the genotype IA small I. That means they occupy the multiple alleles occupy the same locus on the homologous chromosome. These are homologous chromosomes. So we will explain this multiple allelism with the help of blood group in humans. So explanation for multiple allelism. How we can explain this multiple allelism? Explanation. One of the best example of multiple allelism is blood group in humans. In humans, there are 4 blood groups. We know A, B, AB, and O. In humans, there are 4 blood groups A, B, AB, and O, and these 4 blood groups in humans are controlled by 3 alleles. They are controlled by 3 alleles. So we have IA, IB, and small I. The 4 blood group in humans, that is A, B, AB, and O, they are controlled by 3 alleles. This is a case of multiple allelism because there are more than 2 alternative forms of a gene population. So now we have this. What would be the genotype and phenotype? So we have then what is phenotype? That is blood group, and genotype, genetic constitution. We have A blood group, B, AB, and O. For A blood group, the genotype is IA, and IA small I. Genotype for B blood group, IB, small I. We have here IAB, IAIIB. So this O blood group is controlled by small I. It means that we have IA and IB alleles. They are codominant. That is, it means that IA, IB individuals have both antigens, glycoproteins A and B on the surface of RBCs. That would be like this. That is both antigens, A antigen and B antigen on the surface of RBCs. This antigen is glycoprotein. So this is A antigen and B antigen on the surface of IB individuals, because IB alleles are codominant. So this is a case of codominance. Then we have another. This is small I allele. It is recessive to IA and IB. That means if an individual has this condition or this condition, the blood group is A. Here I small I, this is A blood group. This is B blood group. This individual, no antigen on RBCs. So these individuals, the individual which is having genotype small I, they have no antigen on RBCs. They have no antigen on RBCs. So we can say that this blood group in humans, it shows multiple alleles, multiple allelism, because we have IA, IB and small I alleles which control this blood group. It shows codominance, because we have IA is codominant to IB, and it also shows dominant recessive relationship. This IA and IB, these are dominant to small I, so that is dominant recessive relationship. So we can say that this is an example of multiple allelism. It shows multiple allelism, codominance as well as dominant recessive relationship. So we can write down it like this. Blood group in humans. So we have this IA, capital IA and capital IB, they are codominant and they are dominant over the small I. So this is the case of multiple allelism. There are three alleles, IA, IB and small I, which are controlling blood group in humans. This IA is equal to IB because these are codominant alleles. That means both alleles express themselves in the phenotype, and these two alleles, they are dominant over the small I. So this is the case of multiple alleles. So in nutshell, we can say that when there are more than 2 alleles of a gene in a population, that is called as multiple allelism. So multiple allelism is a population phenomenon. We see multiple alleles in population, not in individual, because in an individual we have only 2 alleles, whereas in gamete we have only 1 allele. Thanks.